Hey, what is up everyone? It's me again, Gamer Lush, and this is a special episode of me taking your comments and answering them, and really just giving out thanks, guys. I've hit over 50 subscribers. I know that's not a lot to a lot of people, to me, but to me, that means so much. That actually there's a good 50 amount or so people that actually care what I have to say, or we share the same interest. And I will be continuing Final Fantasy content because that was a big portion of you subscribers out there, and I will still be reviewing other games and having a first shot with. But as a milestone of getting together like this, I'm going to be reading off your comments. But first, as I usually take a shot, I'm going to be taking a big shot for you guys, because for the 50 subscribers that I got. Now, if I barf on you guys, I apologize. This is gonna be a lot in one take. Alright. Cheers, guys. Oh. Okay, that was a lot. And yes, that was Burnett's. Guys, that stuff is disgusting. It's just, I'm a little low on the cash, and I wanted to give you guys a shot for this show to celebrate our 50s, over 50 subscribers now, actually, that I'm recording. Ooh, okay. Alright, so I'm getting a lot of comments, and I'm glad you guys, please guys, keep putting those comments in, questions, whatever, if you guys are curious about anything going on in the game so far. I had just finished playing the fourth Phase 3 beta weekend. If I start slurring, that means the stuff is kicking in. Let's start off now. A running gag that I've been going on over and over again is that the concept of playing single player in a massive multiplayer game. This is my opinion alone. Anyone who thinks that I think that you're stupid for playing single player or by yourself in a massively multiplayer RPG, I disagree with you, but you guys are not stupid. That's the least thing. If I came across offensively, I apologize full-headedly. And I like to point out two commenters that had really good points, and I wanted to show them up because these guys are smart. They didn't just go on there and say, "Oh God, you're fucking stupid." He's like, "You have no idea what you're talking about. Troll, lol, bad, dislike, whatever." I'm sorry if I slaughter your name. I think it's Rune. You can correct me or whatever. He points out, as a Final Fantasy 11 veteran from day one, same here. He can tell how things work. Certain jobs were desired at a certain point, and sometimes red mages were desired more than white mages. I know this for a fact because actually my main was a red mage at that time, and I could yell, yes, the refresh was for there, but on my server, red mage and white mage were kind of both one at the same time. When I was playing at the beginning, red mage was only sought up so much because it wasn't sought out enough because they didn't have refresh at the time, but they were still sought out because they could still cure really good. And yeah, you guys, experiences are going to depend on like how you played throughout this whole time. And Final Fantasy 11 really just kind of like molded my experiences and my opinions of what an MMO should be at this point. So yeah, and basically just moving on at this point. Yeah, certain classes were needed, and he means like, does that mean that, okay, so when I say I cured as my thaumaturge for Contra because I couldn't find parties fast enough, that was my choice. I couldn't find the parties fast enough because so that I could still wait it and still DPS as my thaumaturge, but I decided I could still cure as my thaumaturge and throw in some DPS in there the first time. As a beta, you're getting a lot of people in there that are just trying to experience the game, give you feedback, and who are seriously devoted, who really want to give this game out a try and want to give their opinions out and see how it was at this point. Like, man, hopefully that's what mostly people are on the beta were doing. So of course you're not going to have that negative, you're not going to have too much of the negative community in there. So let me see here. He also, well, he had put two comments. I want to address his comments, saying that I'm not ignoring him at all time. You guys are very important to me, and I want to get back to any messages or comments as I possibly can. So that was, I had responded to him, and he was talking about how what his experience was, and you know, I totally agree. That sucks. One of my best friends, he was a monk for a vast majority of the game. That was his main. And a vast majority, he could not find a party for the life of him. I felt so bad for him. I got into a party initially, not even like a minute after I logged on. And he was on for at least a good 3 hours or so before me, because I believe I just got home from work. And he was still looking for a party, but as soon as I got on, party. And I felt so bad, and it's like, well, we're still looking for one more person. And it's like, well, we would probably want a Dark Knight instead. And it's like, do you want to come? It's like, you know what? I really don't want to come if I don't want to come with my friend. So the guys kicked that poor guy, one of the poor guys out who was already part of the party, and invited my friend in. You know what? And I felt good that I was helping my friend get into a party to help him out, but I felt bad at the fact that they wanted to kick that person out because he was in the right class, or the fact that they needed my class so badly that they're willing to kick out a person and get another person to come into the party. That stuff really sucks, and I understand that it just happens almost every game, and you have to find a really good mechanic for a game for it to you don't become too lazy, or you don't need to sacrifice so much. That's kind of like what WoW's kind of doing, I guess. They're basically homogenizing every class, that they have everything that every other class has, and they have the motto, bring the player, not the class. But at that point, you're also going, well, what the hell do you have classes in there for? What's the meaning of even having classes in there for the first place? Just make every class have everything to it. Just slap a new coat of paint on it. Like, let's see here. Cleave is just another form of Divine Storm for a paladin. You just basically slap some shiny hammers on it, and it does the same thing. And it's like, and I guess if that's what people want, then fine, because obviously that's kind of what they do want. The numbers show that's what they want. That's why you have all those subscribers on there, the people that pay for that stuff. And heck, I've gone back to it the same as many times too, and like it was probably like little month increments. And it's like it's a really touchy subject to kind of, because you want the game to be a certain way, but you know the game has to reach as many people as you possibly can. So, so now that everyone's homogenized, you don't have to worry about customizing your class. You don't have to worry about it. Now that everyone's homogenized, or in one, basically, everyone has everything the same, you don't have to worry about customizing your character. You can cosmetically customize it now. I can basically make my close-range quarter person, two-handed person either be a two-handed warrior or a two-handed paladin or something like that. I don't have to worry about elitists jumping down my throat saying that I don't have this skill here, I don't have that skill there. And you know what? Okay, I guess that's fine for you. That's fine. We can do that too. But then there's alternatives too, where you kind of have to put, the creators can only put so much effort into it, to where the community has to put as much effort back into it to make a game to where people rely on other people, and we need you to do this, or we need to do that, but don't jump down my back for it. If I get the job done, fine. That's all you need. And if you're gonna be if you have the small crowd of people who are elitists, who will do the mid-max of everything, it's like you have to have these skills, you have to have these skills, you have to have these skills. If you're gonna have to understand that's the hardcore aspect, super hardcore the aspects. Like if you want to do this record timing, we have to do, it better be a well-oiled machine, like a pit crew in NASCAR or something like that. I don't even watch NASCAR, but you know, if a crew fucks up on the car won't run on ultimate speed, and you can't do laps or anything like that. So you know, but then there's the low end of the part to where everyone's the same. He's like, I don't care, bring whatever, and it's like, well, I know he has this because his class is like mine, so I already know where it's like that. And so, but then you have. So it's like everyone just come on in. Your clear classes are all the same, and I'm not gonna argue with you, or because I know what you have, but you don't know how to play the class. So I guess, yeah, bring the class, not the character, or bring the player, not the class. And you know, yeah, that booze is kicking in, so I'm probably talking circles here, guys. And then you have a happy medium. You pick a class, you can customize it the way you want. And you can cherry pick these skills into this class, because you can cherry pick these skills in that class. And I guess kind of when the talent tree came in, it's kind of giving you that choice. But you know, as later on down the road, a lot of the talents were basically outshining a lot of other towns, so why in the world's like, well, this one's obviously way better than that one. So I can see where this is happening. Could happen in Final Fantasy 11, to where a lot of swapping skills could be better for a lot of melee damage characters, magic damage characters, and we would have to put our faith into Square, and hopefully thinking that we can, you know, have the community think to where I can accept the way this person plays his class, but not totally jump down his throat because he's not mid-maxing his damage, his DPS, his healing, or whatever. And unfortunately, yeah, this stuff, which is basically I just ranted off to, goes back to why he was basically saying, I don't want to team up with these people because they're basically telling me to play the way they expect me to play. Then don't play with those people. Alright? It's like you're playing a massively multiplayer RPG. I'm not trying to talk down to you, treat you like you're dumb. Massively means a lot of people. There's a whole spectrum of people. Unfortunately, the more people you bring into it, the crowd sways to the popular ideals of what the way everyone thinks. So if this is popular and everyone's saying, oh, you gotta have this and you gotta have this, well, he's, I guess, elitist, so he knows better, so I guess. And so now that I know this information, I'm gonna see someone who's different from me and tell him that this guy told me that you need to do that to min-max your max damage. And you know what? It's like, no, I don't care what you think. Either, okay, fine, kick me out of the party, and I'll find another people who don't care how I play and accept me for the way I play this. And it's just kind of like your choice. I play these games, so when you play a massively multiplayer online, you have to understand the fact that you're playing with other people. That's kind of why I kind of go on the whole emphasis of, and I kind of just keep on going. It's like, if you don't want to deal with other people, play a single player MMO. It's like, well, I want to play in this vast world and not deal with the bullshit of other people. Okay, alright, yeah, go ahead. That's your thing, that's great. And it's like, and this goes to another person who left a comment basically disagreeing with the fact, which is perfectly fine. Guys, you don't have to totally agree with me. If you agree with me, fantastic, we're on the same level. If you don't, I understand, I read this, I contemplate this, like, yeah, these are the reason why people play separately, single the MMOs. I'm going to try to keep going. I'm going to try to go faster over this so I can get to other comments and give everyone a fair shot. David Garcia, he had recently put on a post talking about some people who play MMORPGs alone like to show their gear. God. Of course they like to show off their gear, because you have people look around, it's like, you got the, I don't know, you bought that badass Corvette, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, or whatever. You want to show it off to people. Look how badass I am. Look how much money I have. Or in this case, for Final Fantasy, look how badass I am. I was able to track that dungeon by myself. But how'd you get to that dungeon? You played it with other people, right? So it's like, that kind of defeats the purpose. And if you play it alone to show off your badass gear, and it's like you still are relying on those people to play by yourself, but yet you're sitting there, it's like, I just want to be alone. I don't want, oh god, I want people to look at my gear. Blah blah blah. You need people to help you get that gear, and you need people to come look at that gear. And it's like, no, his tech. And yeah, I really, your idea is not dumb. Your idea is not dumb. I just kind of. I don't know what to say about that. It's like, it's kind of like, it kind of crushes on the whole thing. It's like how I said, you need peanut butter and jelly back, or you need salt and pepper, but people don't prefer to have those things. And when he goes on for simply exploring, yeah, exploring by yourself is great, and had just experienced in the world, like, I guess, like hikers, bicyclists in real life, just like to go out by themselves, explore. They don't have to worry about people weighing them down, or they don't have to worry about them falling behind. And it's like, and he's like, just, you know, they don't ruin the moment where you're just on the mountaintop and the other person's like, wow, this is great, man, I remember this time and blah blah, and they'll just keep on yakking off or whatever like that. And yeah, I just understand that. Totally understand. That's a viable point. Yeah, it's like, look, some people just want to be alone and just like experience the world by themselves and paint this own picture in their head. Hell, I love the RP on when I play MMOs, and it's like, I just like playing this whole world in my head, and of course, if people don't, you know, play along with it, it totally breaks the immersion of my own little RP. But you know, that's something I deal with it. And you know, yeah. And then another thing he points out, having people around makes the world more feel realistic. So yeah, of course. So people are gonna run on, do their own agenda. They're not on some kind of random code or, you know, to where he's gonna run. Like in 10 minutes, he's gonna walk over here. In that 10 minutes, he's gonna talk to this person. And 10, he's gonna talk to that person. After 15 minutes has passed, he's gonna walk back to this spot. Yeah, after fun, he feels static. He's not even part of the world. He's just some mannequin on a rail that basically walks around. But you got, when they're in MMO, you just run past. We'll see all these people busy on doing what they had to do, and you can be that dark, mysterious loner that doesn't care about anybody else. you know, whatever. I'm being goofy with this. I'm pretty sure that's not what he meant at all. But this is not a problem. It's just, you know, if the game mechanic is basically centralized around a point to where you can beat the whole entire game by yourself as a massively multiplayer RPG, then to me that just kind of defeats the purpose. What's the point of playing the game? Okay, so it has a great single player experience. That means, okay, good. I paid this amount of money. I paid the monthly fees to do the story quest line, and for a lot of people that'd be enough. Just do the story quest line by themselves and get all the stuff by themselves. But you know, they can't. They have to at some point rely on people, and it's like, oh god, I don't want to fucking play with other people just so I can experience the whole thing. To where a lot of MMOs are basically saying, oh crap, a lot of people like to play them themselves, so let's make all the stuff accessible to them. Gear that's equivalent to raid gear, you know, through quests or what have you, just so they can experience the world and the lore and stuff like that. I guess it's fine to a certain point, but to me it just feels kind of broken for games that's supposed to be centric for to communicate with other people, apply your powers, you apply your different jobs, be in a party to work all for a single goal of getting that cool gear, bringing down an epic boss or what have you. But you know what? My opinion's not right. Their opinion's not right. My opinion's not wrong. Their opinion's not wrong. Everyone has opinion. There's billions of people on this planet. Not everyone's gonna think like you. And you know, I'm sorry if I came off like insulting, saying that people who want to play MMO are stupid or play MMO singly stupid. I apologize if I came off that way. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and let's talk about other people who might have questions. Now, let's see here. Okay, well, here's someone who agreed with me. Chad I'm gonna butcher your last name. Klovoski. Gamer, let's just so agree with you. It's basically he's talking about how he goes online to interact with people to have the most fun and backbend. You know, yeah, he agrees with me, so he has opinion that he agrees with me. Other people don't. Kudos, Chad. I like your opinion because it agrees with mine. Because I'm a dick. I guess I'm a dick like that. It's like, I'm playing like, I like you more because no, that's not the case. I don't like him more because he agrees with me. That the fact that these two people actually disagree with me, I wanted to bring their opinion out first. Is you know, that of course it brings up discussion. You know, if someone agrees with you all the time, it's you have nothing to talk about. He's like, oh, I agree. Okay. And then that's pretty much the end of the conversation. Okay, now there's people talking on here who get beta keys later on. Of course, yeah, you guys are gonna get. Some of you guys are gonna get emails later on. A vast majority of people got their beta keys through Phase 3. I got mine through about Phase 2, but I couldn't talk about it, and because I had bought the original game when it first came out, and it was basically a flop. I put in my input through a lot of fan sites and what have you, and I made this gaming channel, and I put my beta sign in like as soon as I possibly could when they first announced it. I forget, it was I think blah 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 the beginning of this year. And so I got the beta access, but you know, of course, the second phase, you couldn't say anything about it. You just say, heck, I didn't even think you could say you were even in it at that point. And then the third phase, saying you could say you were in it. You can take pictures. but you couldn't release video or streaming sound unless you're the York's cast. If you're popular, I guess if you're a really popular YouTube channel, you can talk to the company. You can post whatever. I think it's Yours Cast Kim. She has a couple videos actually of live video footage. Real cute. The only thing about it, she drives me crazy because she says every 5 seconds. It drives me nuts. But everything other than that, it's great. You know, she has a live footage, or not live footage. She has recorded video, sound, and she gives her opinion about what she feels. And she has some history. She knows a lot about Final Fantasy 14 coming up, and gives you a rundown. Unfortunately, I can't do that. I really wish I could. You know. All right. So going to another couple of. I'm going to be posting you guys' random comments so you guys can be on the channel with me, you know, sharing your thoughts and what have you. I'm looking through the comments right now, making sure I posted them and looked at them and read them, so I know throughout what the time of the video to post them up. Make sure you guys get your little spot in the sun, the spot in the show light, the sunlight with me, and show my appreciation for you guys watching my video. This video is probably going to go pretty long because I want to show my appreciation for you guys. And I want to answer as many of these questions as I possibly could. Fate Systems. Let's see here. Yusami Ubosa. Fate Systems will stay alive only if the fact that not only are they're there to fight notorious monsters and M's, but after the fact you join a grand company's Fate they'll give you rewards. During the game, you will join grand companies, basically showing which city you want to represent. And seals are basically currency. They're kind of like seals of justice, seals of valor. For that, they're basically rep seals that give you these, you know, pieces of honor that represent your city. And that's actually one of the first quests you get through this is getting your own chocobo with the little tabards, as I showed you in a previous video. And I could see how this would make more incentive to join in running people, find fates, assist those people with those big old nasty, notorious monsters, you know, and just joining the community as a whole. Play together with other people. Unfortunately, most of those notorious big nasty monsters, it takes forever to solo by yourself. So I can see where there's maybe people will complain. It's like, I can't get these seals because I can't kill this monster by myself. It's not scaling right, and you know, it's still a beta, so it might change that to scale a little better with that. But considering how it's being a notorious monster, like a rare monster, it'd be more like world bosses at that point, and I think that just encourages more multiplayer, cooperative playing in a massively MMORPG. Guys, even though I've seen these guys' comments and I totally agree with them, I'm still going to be on the scale for make the massively multiplayer game more massively multiplayer. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. Okay, so moving on. Okay, remix. I like the hey guys. People who like the songs, I put notes down below. I even put the links where you can put these songs up. I love video game soundtracks, and I always like putting in the soundtrack. And the soundtrack I'm playing here in the background is the new one from the LC Remix. They had a Kickstarter for this. This was a CD contemplation of Final Fantasy VI soundtrack, which Final Fantasy VI is my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. And I love the whole soundtrack of it, and I just love this whole Balance and Ruin, or Ruin and Balance is basically what it's called. I'll try to link the description below. Let's see here. Thanks for the deep review. I think Rift at the moment is the best MMO. Right now, that they went free to play, Rift is awesome. And the fact that they didn't go the SWTOR route where they basically gated everything off and you have to pay a certain amount of stuff just to color your armor. Really? Or you have to pay, I have to pay you or spend my tokens to fucking hide my helmet? Are you fucking serious? Calm down. Tangent. But yeah, so Rift did it the right way. They basically unlocked everything. They unlocked bag space and like cosmetic armor and mounts. And Rift, good job, Rift. I'm actually playing a lot of it while I'm waiting for Final Fantasy. I'll probably even play that while and playing Final Fantasy just to get that whole WoW vibe back. You know, the fact I don't have to resubscribe to WoW to get that back. Because let's all face it, Rift was a really big WoW clone, but you know, different aesthetic. Cheers, guys. And don't get me wrong, Final Fantasy 14 has a really big cloning of that too, to where they just cherry picked a lot of the best what WoW had. And let's not get it twisted. WoW took a lot of things from a lot of other MMOs as well. All right, moving on. Guys, like I said, I'm getting a lot of the comments for the NDA. People are worried of like, why am I showing off pictures? I could be banned from the NDA or banned from the beta. Don't worry about that. I'm only showing still pictures. If I'm showing video or music from the video game, that's when I can get my account banned. So I made sure to look all that stuff up so I can get you guys my opinions about this. I really wish I could give you video, but unfortunately I can't. I'm really sorry. It's, you know, NDAs, you gotta respect them. And if I got banned, I wouldn't be able to give you more of my opinions of basically what I can tell you from word of mouth. And you know, and it's just how it goes. It's NDA, you know. It's like these people are. If I were to basically show the video and just show you this terrible thing that were to happen into the game, don't get me wrong, I haven't seen anything super game breaking in it so far, and I've been, you know, running around trying to get myself stuck, and there's been points like, yeah, you can get stuck in some rocks, and but I was able to always jump my way. I was always able to jump out. I didn't even try the unstuck mechanic. I should try that out next time. Cheers, guys. Even though I just took that big shot, I don't care. This guy's for you. 50 subscribers. This was a funny one from Coco Tiger 77. Dude, before I saw your face, I thought you sounded like Benson Henderson from a UFC lightweight champion. That was the first time I was ever compared to a professional athlete. I looked him up. He kind of does. And I looked at him, and the more I look at him, of course, the longer you look at a person, the more you can point out details of it. I'm flattered, I guess. But that was hilarious. I appreciate your comment, Tiger. I hope you're still watching my videos. All right, moving on. Very funny, by the way. Let's see here. I like the Bendo comment, and he basically shout, Bendo! Alright, okay. Mosk22, I'm sorry that your message got spammed for some reason, even though it wasn't. I'm not sure. I unspammed it. It took me a little to look at. Was it Mosk? Yeah, I believe it was Mosk. If not, there's another person who got spammed. I apologize. If you guys have legitimate comments, you guys get spammed. I'm looking at all the comments and try to get them unspammed so people can look at your other comments and bounce back and forth. Guys, reply to each other civilly. And guys, give some feedback back and forth to each other. Just looked at what you said. The environment community does feel lively. He's looking forward to Final Fantasy 11 on its release. I'm mostly a solo player, but I feel it's good to see people interacting and chatting or whatever. I know my question is not related to game. I'm just curious since you're playing the JP. I'm just curious since you said you're playing a JP server. The JP server. I'm on a JP server right now. The American server is open right now. Fortunately, I can't give you guys feedback on that because I've been playing the JP servers for a really good reason. All the MMOs I played besides Final Fantasy 11, I've been playing in US servers, and I kind of wanted to see how the community was more alike in that way. I could see a lot of Japanese players. The experience I had this weekend when they put the duty finder in there. That's a subject for another show. Anyway, they seem to be more communicatively, and there's a lot more shouting over it in Japanese. Unfortunately, I can't read Japanese at this point. I can only use the translator. It says very lively. There's people running all over the place. There's still American people playing on the server because... Why? Because Japanese servers, people who play late at night, it's more lively on that. So if you're a late night, if you're a night owl, a vampire, or whatever jump on a Japanese server, there's more people on that, and yes, there been very nice people, Japanese wise, who you know, they know how to program their keyboard to type in English and Japanese. They've been so nice, you know. You put in that point, do you speak Japanese? Yes. Do you speak English? Yes. Can you communicate to him that I would like to do this? Oh yeah, sure. So he'll type it out in Japanese, and then he'll type back to me in English. And it's like I never really got mad at anybody at that point, except for the fact that people who didn't want to communicate, they just flat out refused to communicate with people. And you know, it's at that point, it's like you're just basically not even trying at that point. So if you don't want, basically put the effort to even try to communicate with me, it's like you're not worth my time at that point. And it's like I'll basically try to get through it, and it's like these are the people you have to deal with. It just basically puts more on the scale of why people want to play by themselves in MMOs. Like, you have to deal with jackasses. Yes, I understand. I guess I just have more tolerance of these people, so I'll do what I have to do, get through the thing, and just realize that person does not want to communicate whatsoever. The people I have, this is basically way outbalanced the people that want to communicate and play together, and you know, and it just feels like whatever I felt like there's something to do, there's always people out there willing to do or wanting to do it for me. The fact that there's a level sync, so there's also a reason to do it with other people. Just like, you know, if you're out there just running around, you had nothing to do, there's a level sync for all this stuff. So even if I'm level 48 and my homeboy's level 15, I can join him for that, still keep all of my stuff on and level sync with that. That was in Final Fantasy 11, so they basically just took all that stuff to 11 and just put it onto this one. Guys, but yeah, like I said, once a vast majority or a large amount of the populace are into the game, you're gonna get a lot of assholes in there. So that's totally gonna basically put red dye into clear water and basically just spread out and just you'll. Unfortunately, yeah, when you got a certain community and then you introduce the vast populace to that community, they're basically just gonna ruin it for a lot of people, because in the vast community of people, they're assholes, dumbasses, intolerance, bigotry, and you know, all these people you just don't want to be with. But unfortunately, since the internet, a lot of animosity, these people feel safe that they can just be total assholes and not have, you know, suffer any repercussions from it. Guys, shoot, I'm gonna have to cut it here. I'm going to try to post both of these videos up today. I don't want to take most of your time. This video is running a little slow. Guys, if you've seen this and you don't, it's like, oh my god, he didn't put up my comment yet. Stick with me. Stick with me. I'm going to basically, I'm recording both of these the same day, so I'm still going to be at the same kind of drunkenness. Stay tuned. I'll be putting up another video later on today or the day after, so watch that one so you can see your guys' comments. And again, I appreciate you guys getting me over 50 subscribers. I think I'll be over 10,000 views at this after I post this video, or maybe after the second one. And guys, please leave your comments, questions, likes, dislikes. If you like this, subscribe. You know, and I'll pour one more drink for you guys because it's going to be just transferring over to the other show. This is I guess an anniversary, 50th anniversary for people, subscriber anniversary, and I'll be doing a video on the Duty Finder and my opinion about it. But as always, cheers and game on. See you next show. Plants, pure raw materials for ignites or whatever have you, what have you, and I think this is fantastic. You get item.
Hold on. Were you attacked by Apaches? What happened to the cowboys? Did I say they were Apaches? I said Clanton's cowboys attacked me Apache style.
Yeah, that's a really other cool mechanic.